Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults.
And beer.
And beer. And we are kind of sorry, not sorry about the debacle with the Joseph Paul Franklin episode.
Yeah. I got sick.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, old Todd's got COVID now.
Yep.
And he wanted to kind of take the night off, but we reminded him that just a few weeks ago I did an episode with COVID.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all right, but
I know. I
still feel. Yeah. I mean, I don't feel great, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, you sound a hell of a lot better than I did when I did that episode.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm coming to the end of it here.
Yeah, I hope so too, because COVID sucks.
Yep. I know, dude. That went last week? Thank God we recorded on Sunday because, dude, Monday I felt like a bag of smashed assholes, I swear. I would have not been able to have done it on Monday.
Well, everything happens for a reason, right?
Yep, sure does.
So, I mean, and the episode that we recorded, the Elizabeth Bathory, oh my God. I listened to that one back today after I had edited it today. I listened to it today, and oh my God, we did okay. We did okay at first.
Yes.
For about the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes or so, we were fine. And then the wheels just fell off because what had happened is we got to a late start that day, and so I was already like 6 or 7 beers in when we started, because while I was waiting on Todd to finish up what he had to do, I was working on a song that I had written. So I had some beer going and everything. So I was about 6 or 7 in by the time Todd, by the time we started recording the episode. Todd was also about 6 or 7 in because he had been enjoying some Bud Light.
Yeah.
While he took care of what he needed to do, and then he starts drinking 10% alcohol beer.
No more swamp apes during the show.
Man, and it just went off. I mean, we managed to get through to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Although we got a couple of times.
Yes. Yeah, apparently we did it twice.
Yeah. And we had a disagreement, and we even argued a little bit.
Hey, it was a good time.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoy that, and I am about 50% positive that the Joseph Paul Franklin episode will be the next one that we release. Of course, if it is, then you're going to hear about us releasing it after we've already released it.
Yeah, well,
we got that little paradox thing going.
Yeah, right.
So what are you drinking?
I am drinking Mountain Dew tonight. I just do not feel like drinking.
I can understand.
So
that.
I have to still kind of feel pretty bad if I don't feel like drinking. That's saying something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, but when we did the episode, my COVID episode, when we did that, I was just like, I was just like, I'm sick. I was starting to feel a little better. I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna have some beer.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
But if you don't feel good, you don't feel good, and ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So, the case we're covering tonight is Gypsy Rose and Dee Dee Blanchard, which is probably the most famous case of Munchausen Syndrome. Munchausen Syndrome. Throw me a line here, Tom.
Munchausen by Proxy syndrome.
That's it. That's the one.
I was gonna try to let you get it out, man. Usually you get it like a second or third time.
Not unless I get like totally tongue tied, like on the Ashley episode. I kept getting tongue tied on the word rum runner, like 3 or 4 different times in the episode. So This is a crazy ass case, and it's it's well known. It's not a serial killer. It's not a cult. Well, I guess you could say it was a cult of two.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Dee Dee, she had all the characteristics of a cult leader.
Yeah. Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah, but we're not going to call her a cult, though.
Nah.
We're just going to call her a bitch.
Yeah.
Or another C word.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. My sources for this are Ranker. The article is called Ranker, a complete timeline of the Dee Dee Blanchard case. And there's also a documentary that Oxygen put out. It's called on the show Snapped, Women Who Murder.
Mm-hmm.
They covered this case as well.
Ah.
So those are my two main sources for this. And there have been shows done. Hulu did a show called The Act about it, and then HBO did a show called Mommy Dead and Dearest.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I saw when I looked it up, I saw that all the various movies and documentaries and stuff.
I haven't seen either one of those because I don't have HBO or Hulu. Which I guess is... I heard that Orville is coming to Disney Plus.
Is it really?
Yeah, so that means I won't have to subscribe to Hulu in order to see the latest season of Orville. It's sometime in August, August 13th or something like that.
That's weird.
Yeah. Especially because, it's a Fox show, so why the hell would it wind up on Disney?
Doesn't Disney own Fox now? Disney owns everything now, don't they?
Oh, they do, don't they? Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, because isn't that how they got the X-Men and everything? Even though they haven't really used them yet, but except for that one guy in that one movie. No spoilers. No spoilers for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Well, we have some sad news. Nichelle Nichols of Star Trek died.
Yes, I saw that. That bummed me out.
It bummed me out too. Yeah, there's only 3 original cast members left: Shatner, Walter Koenig, and
Sulu. George Takei.
So R.I.P.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But she had a pretty. She was almost 100 years old, or maybe it was almost 90.
Almost 90. I think she was 86.
Yeah.
84 or 86, something like that.
The past few years have been really rough on her.
Yeah. Didn't she have dementia or something, didn't she?
Yeah. And yeah, so I guess it's not like she died young or anything like that. She had a full life and, inspired a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Nope, 89. She was 89.
Oh, wow. So, anyway. Hashtag but I digress. Dee Dee Blanchard. She was born Claudine. Her name was Claudine, but she went by Dee Dee. And when she was a teenager, in 1990, she had hooked up with a guy named Rod Blanchard, and they got married because he had gotten her pregnant. But shortly after, before the baby was even born, Rod realized that this wasn't going to work for him, so he divorced her. But he paid a lot of money in child support throughout Gypsy Rose's life,
mm-hmm.
and so he was by all, by all means, he was a good father. And the reason he never got to see her, that wasn't because he didn't want to. It was because of Dee Dee.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So on July 27th, 91, Gypsy Rose was born, and yes, that she was named after the Cinderella song.
No, that's not what I read, but okay.
Well, I saw another story that said that that Dee Dee liked the name Gypsy and Rod liked Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, that's what I
saw two different.
That's what I read. But I mean, I guess Gypsy Rose. I guess it could be, even though the Cinderella song is Gypsy Road.
Road, yeah.
But hey, that's still cool.
It could have. They both could be right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was, we've had our share of wonky Wikipedias, so.
True. I think I heard on a podcast.
No, I read it on Wikipedia.
I mean, it's in the it's on the ranker about the Guns N' Roses. Yeah, she liked the name Gypsy, and that he liked that he was a Guns N' Roses fan. That's on that. But I heard it on a podcast. A year or two ago, the first time I ever heard about this story. I can't remember which podcast it was, but yeah. So,
don't forget about their age difference. That I find that kind of slightly disturbing.
What was the age difference?
Well, she was 24, and wasn't he 17 or something? Or that's what I read.
I may have that written down. I'm just kind of winging it here because I broke my glasses.
No worries. I just think that's kind of. I mean, if it was the other way around and she was 17 and he was 24, there'd be all kinds of uproar about that.
Oh yeah, you're right. I do remember hearing about that now. I think I have it written down here too. I should have just taken pictures of my notes and sent them to you and let you host.
Nah, you're doing fine. We'll get.
Without my glasses, I can't see. God damn it!
Oh boy.
Jerky Boys, remember that?
Oh yeah.
Saul Rosenberg. So she was born on, like I said, July 27, 1991. She was completely healthy, and shortly later, Dee Dee takes Gypsy to the hospital, saying that she had sleep apnea. And the doctors didn't see any evidence that she had it, but they prescribed her a breathing machine anyway, which was dumb.
Yeah, right.
There's a whole lot of doctors. We talk about how it's like the most incompetent of cops usually are the ones that wind up investigating a serial killer case or something like that. Well, it seems like all of these doctors came from the same neighborhood as these cops.
Yeah.
Dee Dee realizes that when Gypsy Rose was sick, she got attention. So first from the doctors, then from Rob, the respectable dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave her lots of money and child support and everything, but she's soaking up the attention. Dee Dee is. So Gypsy Rose mysteriously began getting sick from everything imaginable. Just asthma caused by a chromosomal defect, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, sleep apnea. I mean, all of these things are the Dee Dee was taking her to the doctors for. She's just basically a attention whore.
Yeah.
Right. She used the sympathy for Gypsy Rose to to soak up the attention, but also to commit fraud from charities, and everybody else involved, the media, and just from good Samaritans that might make a donation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She's everybody's singing her praises because of how dedicated of a mother that she is. Just dedicating her whole life to fixing her sick daughter. She would go to a bunch of different doctors. I mean, she rarely went to the same one twice, and that's how she was able to get away with doing what she did. So, by age 7, Gypsy was confined to a wheelchair, and Dee Dee, pushed her around in it and everything. She's on all sorts of medicine that she didn't need, and just like hundreds, maybe even thousands of prescription bottles and everything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the story, when police go into the house, they found like thousands of prescription bottles, medicine bottles.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, a new diagnosis comes out. Leukemia.
Yeah.
Leukemia, and Dee Dee convinced Gypsy that she was too weak to walk because of the leukemia. So, and she wouldn't let, at the doctor, she wouldn't let Dee Dee, or she wouldn't let Gypsy Rose talk to the doctors about it because it might reveal something. It might reveal her a scam.
Right.
So, at this point, Gypsy Rose is basically a zombie from all of the medication that she's on, and that the medicines made her look sick all the time as well. And Gypsy, to pass off the leukemia thing, she shaved her head to make it look like she had been having radiation treatment for leukemia.
Oh, wow.
Just shaved her. I mean, all the while, this poor girl's just completely healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, the leukemia brought even more attention and even more money. So after completing the 2nd grade, Dee Dee pulled her from school. And she did fine, but she still, she was still like a zombie. She had done fine in school, but now she was like a zombie, so she wasn't able to, continue going to school at this point in Dee Dee's plan. So,
oh yeah,
she had no social skills, and Dee Dee's family started asking questions, and at this point, Dee Dee isolates Gypsy Rose. Just cutting her off from everybody, friends, family, everybody who questioned her, her parenting, just like literally everybody. So now it's just Gypsy Rose and Dee Dee. That's it. Nobody else. Gypsy was basically Dee Dee's life, and Dee Dee was, Gypsy's life, and that was it.
Yeah.
And Gypsy doesn't know any better.
Well, of course not. She's a child.
Right.
She doesn't know what's happening. That's fucked up.
Yeah. So, in 2000, they moved to Slidell, Louisiana. They knew nobody. Nobody knew them, and they didn't know anybody. So now they were set up to, with a whole new city full of people to leech off of.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee doubled down on her scams and she wound up getting free public housing for it. She couldn't work because she had to care for her poor, sick child.
Yeah.
And she got Gypsy Rose, Social Security and disability. Yeah, they're medical procedures. Medical procedures. Medical procedures. Medical procedures.
Procedures.
Yeah. Don't get your medical procedures from the murder trust.
Yes. I think I'll get my procedures somewhere else.
Medical procedures. And if you got Medicaid, yeah, all of the cost for this and everything was covered by Medicaid. Yeah, so she's leeching off of us, just watching all the while she's just torturing her daughter.
Yeah, so that's just
yeah,
it's terrible.
Well, this story does have kind of a satisfying end to it in a way.
Yeah. Still though, I mean, the stuff that this girl went through is just I don't even have the words.
No, I mean it's horrible, is what it is.
Yeah.
So then she escalates. Dee Dee escalates and starts having Gypsy Rose have completely unnecessary surgeries. Yeah, she insisted that the ER have a biopsy done to treat for muscular dystrophy. And that came back negative, of course. And she got mad, and she accused the doctors of being incompetent for not being able to read a biopsy result the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fuck off, cunt. It's not there. The kid doesn't have muscular dystrophy. So, I mean, if she wasn't already a Karen at that point, she definitely is now. She's demanding that the doctors do something for, but look, these doctors refuse. So, of course, she storms out and everything, and then she decided that Gypsy Rose had eye problems and hearing problems. So they forced huge glasses on perfect eyes.
Oh God!
You ever put on the glasses of somebody that has like really thick glasses and everything, and how it, if you don't fall on your ass, you could wind up with a headache.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you've got perfect vision.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So she insisted on like surgery on Gypsy Rose's inner ear.
Yeah, didn't she like put tubes in her ears or something because of all the ear infections and problems she was having? In air quotes.
That she. Yeah. Yeah, that. I mean, tooth extractions. Yeah, unnecessary tooth extractions. Although you could make, it's possible that Dee Dee let her teeth go to hell just so that she could have them extracted.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past her.
No, I think it's. I saw it in the Wikipedia. They said that she took her to the doctor to have her salivary glands treated with Botox to stop her from drooling.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had them remove her salivary glands, which caused her teeth to rot.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
That's what I read. And then so she had to have all her front teeth pulled and had a bridge because. And this is another thing that she did too, because she would take like numbing whatever medicine and rub it on her gums right before she went into the doctor, so she'd be like a drooling idiot.
Oh God.
Yeah. That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that's some next level depravity right there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, serial killers are obviously big time shitheads and everything, but I gotta say that this is on a different level.
Yeah, this is torture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by somebody that supposedly loves you, Yeah, that's your daughter.
Yeah.
she kept getting more and more medications for problems that didn't exist, and I gotta wonder. Yeah, I'd like to see a transcript of that bitch's search history on the internet.
Yeah, right. And this is actually one of those cases where there was the internet. A lot of the stuff we do like this is like way before that. She actually,
this is
she probably actually was looking shit up, going, "Oh yeah, I think she has that."
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh look, I found a new thing that she has, or that she's gonna have.
yeah. Oh, clubfoot. Yeah, let's go with that this week. Clubfoot.
Right. Oh jeez.
So, but as Gypsy Rose got older, she started questioning and rebelling. As she should have.
Yeah.
But we're far from the end of this, though. She's still young enough to where, she's still underneath Dee Dee's thumb and everything. But it's like she's able to, whenever she would question about it and everything, her, Dee Dee would be able to walk it off.
Mm-hmm.
So now Dee Dee decides that Gypsy couldn't eat on her own. So, and this is where, you were talking about the salivary glands, causing her to drool and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, she made the doctors think that she had an overactive saliva glands.
Yes.
God, this is rough without my glasses.
You're doing fine.
The salivary glands were removed, and like you said, that caused her teeth to rot out and everything. But a feeding tube was installed.
Oh.
And this made Dee Dee able to force anything that she wanted down Gypsy Rose's throat.
Oh God.
Yeah, medicine, whatever, food, and all that stuff. And medications that sedated her so that she couldn't rebel anymore.
Uh-huh.
It's just like she literally was just a freaking zombie, like in a borderline catatonic state. Through the teen years, Dee Dee kept her sedated, and like I said, she was almost catatonic at times, and people praised her for being such a brave and such a great mother, and Dee Dee's just ate it up. She is on cloud nine. She is loving every minute of it.
Yeah.
She's becoming a star, a local celebrity at this point. Everybody. She's getting pity for no reason. She's getting. To be like me. And I would never do this, but this would be like me punching my daughter in the nose and giving her a bloody nose, taking her to the doctor, and expecting people to call me brave because of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's messed up.
Yep. I mean, she's still milking money from Rod, from the government, from charity. Yeah, and she's actually making a pretty good living at it at this point. I mean, she has no bills.
Yeah.
She's on government assistance, government housing and everything. I guess, some people are happy to, live for free even if they're living in a shithole in the ghetto.
Right.
Which is, I'm pretty sure, was where she was.
Yeah.
So in 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit. And it flooded her home, and they lost everything. But she used that to her advantage. She paraded the 14-year-old Gypsy Rose in front of news crews and everything, crying crocodile tears.
Uh-huh.
You know where that term crocodile tears originated from?
No, I do not.
This is true. When crocodiles, crocodiles have tear ducts.
Uh-huh.
So, and when they're eating something, when they're munching down on something and everything, they'll secrete, and it looks like they're crying.
Oh.
I mean, they're not crying, but
Yeah.
but it's just so, but the crocodiles obviously has he doesn't give a shit about what he's doing, so hence the term crocodile tears.
Ah. I see. I feel like I should have known that, but that's cool.
I didn't know about it. I heard it on a podcast that I listened. I can't remember which one it was, but I heard it on a podcast that I listened to. I was just like, whoa. So when I wrote crocodile tears in my notes and everything, I'm like, I'm gonna tell the story.
Right on. That's cool.
Because that was news to me.
Hell yeah.
Hashtag, but I digress. So the story about Dee Dee and Gypsy went nationwide. Donations came pouring in. Habitat for Humanity built them a brand new house.
Oh my God, no way.
And yeah, and the charities took them to Disney World, and a helicopter actually flew them from Louisiana to Springfield, Missouri, when that's where the house that they were building was. I don't know why Springfield, but whatever. Dee Dee don't care.
Right.
It's a whole new area where nobody knows her, and now she's this celebrity.
Yeah.
And a whole new batch of doctors to. Yeah, the house was painted pink. There was a wheelchair ramp put up on it, which is kind of weird because the picture that I'm looking at, I've got the Ranker page up in case I absolutely can't read my own writing anymore because of my glasses. The house they're standing in front of, they're standing next to a ramp. But the house isn't pink. The picture that I'm looking at right now shows a white house.
Oh, yeah.
Although that could have been the house in Louisiana too.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like 1996 is when is where on the timeline that is when where the picture is. So maybe that was their house that got flooded.
Yeah, it could be.
So Gypsy Rose was happy about the the house and all that stuff, and she still believed that Dee Dee had her best interests at heart. So when they took ownership, when they moved into that house, I mean, it was in front. It was a media circus there, and everything, and Dee Dee's acting like a celebrity and all that stuff, like she walked up that freaking ramp, like a snooty actor on the red carpet at a freaking awards show.
Right.
I want to throat punch this bitch. No, I don't advocate men hitting women, but this isn't a woman. This is a fucking monster.
Yeah, right. No shit. I think monster's even too nice a word.
Yeah, it's like.
But anyway.
Freddy Krueger would look at what she's doing and be like, "That's fucking sick."
Yeah, right. That's fucked up.
Yeah, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, bitch.
Yeah, right.
Me, I just kill him. I don't torture him. I just kill him. Or if I do torture him, it's only for a few minutes, and then I just off him.
Right.
You've been torturing this poor girl her entire life.
Yep.
Fuck. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Oh, damn. A new character almost came to me, but it didn't. And it's too late now.
It's too late now.
It was going to be Freddy Krueger, like, talking down to these criminals or whatever, but it's too late. The moment's gone.
Yep. It passed.
I'll keep that one in the back of my head.
Right.
I'll keep that one in the back of my head. Maybe it'll come back. Like Dr. Freddy.
Dr. Freddy. Oh, jeez. You have to do somebody else, though. Don't we already have a Freddy, or is that Frank? I don't remember.
That's Frank.
Okay.
Flat Earth Frank.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind.
So, at this point, Gypsy Rose is 17 years old. And she wanted friends. She wanted to be normal. But, of course, Dee Dee refused to let her, and she doubles down yet again. She would parade her at charity events and everything. Nationwide nonprofits were honoring her. Yeah, like actually giving her awards and stuff like that. She was a star. And Gypsy's torture was paid the price for her stardom. Mm-hmm. I hate this bitch.
I know, right?
So, at this now Gypsy's almost 18 years old, an adult. Mm-hmm. But Dee Dee said that all of Gypsy's paperwork, the birth certificate, medical records, and all that stuff were all lost in the flood. Pretty convenient, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking convenient.
So, she forged a fake birth certificate, saying that she was born in 1995, not 1991. So she was 13, not 17. And she said that Gypsy Rose had the mind of a 7-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. And Gypsy Rose knew none of this. And this obviously would make it possible to keep her past the age of 18. Mm-hmm. And perfectly legally to, somebody that doesn't know any better. Because I can imagine now there's video of Gypsy talking as an adult, and she's got this really high-pitched baby voice,
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that's because that's how her mother talked to her all the time. Oh, Gypsy. Right. Oh, Gypsy Rose. So if that's the voice that you hear 99.9% of the time, you're going to emulate it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I mean, so that helped. That helped with the narrative of her having the mind of a 7-year-old and passing her off as 13 instead of 17. Mm-hmm. So I mean, this woman, she knew what the fuck she was doing.
Oh yeah.
And she's one of these people. I mean, she's a Luca Magnotta, basically. I mean, although she's definitely not devastatingly good looking.
No.
And the reason I make that comparison is because he just decided that he had to be famous. It was like his lot in life to be famous. Mm-hmm. And she's got that same screw loose in her head to where she, and she probably didn't start off like that the way Luca Magnotta did, but once she realized the attention she was getting, then she got the Luca Magnotta spark.
Yeah. Right.
He could have gotten her instead of June Lin.
Yeah.
And then he would have done the world a favor, and well, I'm not gonna no. I'm not going to ruin it for the people listening to this that might not have heard the story before. So right. I'm not going to spoil the ending of it because the ending is so satisfying. Oh boy, it's on the Richard Ramirez level of satisfying. Mm-hmm. Dee Dee gave her medicine to make her even more docile. I mean, there were times when Gypsy didn't even know where she was. She was just basically a zombie. Yeah. On her 18th birthday. Now this is something that, well, okay, never mind. I was going to say this is something that makes me kind of raise an eyebrow because Rod knew that it was her 18th birthday, and why didn't he say something? But if he like everybody else is convinced that Gypsy has all these problems, then obviously he's going to be okay with her keeping Gypsy beyond the 18th birthday.
Yeah, I would guess.
Yeah, but regardless, he continued to pay child support for several more years.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. That's an upstanding guy right there.
Yep. And Rod, if you're listening to this, BillZillaProd@gmail.com. Send me an email. We'll interview you.
Yep.
Because we respect the hell out of you.
Oh yeah, brother.
He called to wish her happy birthday and everything, but Dee Dee cut the call off and told Rod not to reveal the true age of Gypsy. Gypsy had confused herself, and and she was into thinking that she was younger.
Okay.
And she said that the doctors had ordered it, and to play along with Gypsy's fantasy about her being younger, because at the time, Gypsy thought that she was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Or I guess 14 at this point. But in 2009, at 18 years old, Gypsy Rose starts putting things together, and she knew that she could walk and eat without the tube.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that. Also, in 2009, there was a anonymous call to the police about concerning somebody that was concerned about Gypsy Rose. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
But so she also at some point she also found like Medicaid. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I know I've got that written down somewhere. The question is, did I skip it because I couldn't make it out because without my glasses I can't see. God damn it!
God damn it!
She made friends with an 18-year-old neighbor in secret, and they communicated on Facebook at night. Now, they had a shared Facebook account. It was Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a way that she could, obviously keep tabs on what she was doing. But Gypsy, good on her, she set up her own Facebook account in secret.
Ah.
Yeah. She's kind of getting slick there. But
I know.
She yeah. So she would communicate with her friends and all that stuff. And and while she did all this while Dee Dee was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And the friend was talking to her about what life was really like. But Gypsy Rose was still brainwashed at this point. But then again, I mean, they're the same age, but this neighbor thinks that she's talking to a 14-year-old with a mentally challenged 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And she's just being a a good neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if State Farm was there or not.
Probably not.
Nah. In 2010, Gypsy Rose plans the Medicaid card with her real birth date on it. One night, Dee Dee woke up and found Gypsy Rose on the computer. She flipped out and she beat Gypsy with a coat hanger. Took her into the bedroom and then she threw her down in the bedroom and then banned her from getting on the computer. And then at that point, the genie was out of the bottle. The beatings began happening frequently. That was the first time that it had happened, but it became a regular thing shortly after that.
Yeah.
It's just beating the shit out of Gypsy Rose.
Damn.
Who at this point is a perfectly healthy adult.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So, but Gypsy, Gypsy kind of figured it out. It's like she realized that if she asked a question that Dee Dee didn't like, she got her ass kicked.
Right.
So at that point, Stockholm Syndrome set in. She just accepted her fate, and she watched movies all day and everything, and she loved the sci-fi and fantasy. And Dee Dee, the benevolent warden, decided to reward her for her behaving, and so she took her to a sci-fi convention.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's cool. So at the convention, she was loving it. She was having a good time. She met cosplayers and was getting her pictures taken with them and all that stuff. And yeah, she's just loving it. I mean, I've never been to a sci-fi convention, but I imagine that everybody there is on the same page. So everybody there is going to be cool to each other.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. No, their sci-fi cons are great.
Yeah, I've never been to one, but
I haven't been. I went to Dragon Con 99 and 2000, way back then. I can only assume it hasn't changed much since then.
If anything, it's gotten better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Dragon Force a few months ago.
That's not quite the same thing.
So, but at the convention, she's there in the wheelchair and with the feeding tube and everything. But that was the most fun that she had had in her life.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to the Disney World thing, because Disney World, when she was there, that was sponsored by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So there were probably news crews all around. Oh, look at them at Disney World; they're having a good time.
Yeah.
So this was probably legit was the most fun that she had ever had in her life.
Right.
So at one point, Dee Dee left Gypsy Rose by herself.
Uh-oh.
But she met up with a guy. She met up with a guy, and they started talking and everything, and they exchanged contact information. And she found Dee Dee again, or Dee Dee found her, or whatever. No big deal. I mean, Dee Dee probably gave her a little lecture saying, "Don't you run off from me," blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I mean, nothing really came of that. So then, but at this point, she's just kind of keeping up images.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, keep in mind she knows how old she really is at this point.
Yeah.
So when she gets home, she calls up her friend, and it's an older guy, but the guy lives near her. Lives near them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where the convention was. I mean, Springfield. I mean, it's not like a big city like a Miami or Orlando or whatever. But it's not a small city either.
Yeah.
So it could have had the sci-fi convention there.
Possible.
So she calls up this guy, and she's like, she tells him that she needs help. And, he actually she sneaks out of the house, walks out of the house, and the guy picks him up, and he takes her over to his house. And then she begins telling her story. Not the story that she should have been telling.
Right.
But she was just talking about other things. But then disaster struck. Dee Dee had tracked her down somehow.
Row.
A neighbor had ratted her out that she had snuck out. And somehow that she was able to track down and find out where this guy lived. And she shows up, she's beating on the door and all that stuff and everything. She screams at the man for threatening to press charges for kidnapping her 18-year-old daughter. You can't kidnap an 18-year-old daughter.
No.
You can't kidnap an 18-year-old. If anything, she's kidnapping.
Yeah, right.
She's the one doing the kidnapping.
Yeah, exactly.
So she threatens to break all of Gypsy's fingers if she ever tries something like that again.
Oh, of course. Because,
Yeah.
that's what you do.
Yep.
Jesus.
As one does.
As one does. What a piece of work this bitch is, man. Holy crap.
Yeah. I don't know how much you read into it. But do you know about the ending?
No, not so much. I didn't make it that far.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of know what happens just because of the name of the Wikipedia article, but I didn't really read a whole lot about it now.
Okay. Well, you're going to love the ending. Well, no, you're not, but there is a satisfying element to it.
Okay.
So, he drags her back to the house. She's screaming the whole time. They get home, and Dee Dee ties Gypsy to the bed. She smashes the damn computer.
Oh.
And then starved her for 2 days as punishment. And she left her tied up the entire time, too.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, the only way to appease the situation was to play sick, play the sick child and all that stuff, and give her cunt of a mother what she wanted.
Right.
Yeah, it just I kind of imagine freaking Terry Schiavo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in that catatonic. I mean, she was alive, but she was basically brain dead. That's kind of what I, when she's all doped up on these drugs and everything. That's kind of what I envision.
Yeah.
Just somebody that's just like there but not there.
Yeah. Right.
This story is really heartbreaking. I mean, it's just, it's a, I mean, okay, like somebody like Hitler, or somebody like, Andre Chikatilo, or, one of these really bad torturer serial killers and everything. They're on a, they're freaking evil as hell, but this is something completely different. I mean, hell, even somebody, even a parent who, this is even worse than a parent that just hates their kid and just beats the shit out of them for no reason. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. What I'm saying is this bitch is pretending to love actually, you know what? I'm going to go so far as to say that she does love Gypsy Rose.
Well, in her mind, she does, yeah.
In her mind, she does. But so this is actually on a different level than somebody who just beats the shit out of their kid for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Maybe they're an alcoholic, maybe they're a druggie, or whatever. The alcoholic that can't handle their liquor. Not like us.
Oh, you had to go there.
Shit. Did you just give me COVID?
I don't know how. I mean, last time I checked, you can't catch it over the phone, but who knows?
It could be that new Southern Belle variant.
Right?
Southern Belle.
Southern Belle. Is that even a thing anymore?
I was just going to say that. I don't think it is. That used to be the phone company in Florida.
Yeah. Is Southern Belle even a thing?
I don't think so.
That's going way back.
So, hashtag, but I digress.
Yep.
So, just basically, she's playing the sick girl that, she's basically just stroking her mother's ego and giving her whatever the hell she wants, just to keep the peace and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't really consider this Stockholm Syndrome anymore. It might have been at the beginning, like I said, but this isn't. This is her just doing what she's in survival mode at this point, and she knows it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But apparently, it worked because things got better, and Dee Dee bought a new computer. Oh. Well, actually, I should say. You bought her a new computer. I bought her a new computer. Everybody else bought, all the taxpayers bought her a new computer.
Right.
So, Gypsy Rose, she's 21 years old now. 21.
21.
And Dee Dee gave her a cell phone and began getting, she felt safe enough to where she could get onto the computer at night again. Yeah, she's just like, okay, I got to be more careful. I got to be more quiet.
Right.
Not to mention she's got her cell phone, but it probably wasn't a smartphone. It was probably just like a flip phone.
Yeah.
But you can still text on them.
Yes, you can.
Take you 5 minutes to write out, "Hi, how are you doing?" God, I hated texting back then. When you had to beep 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 just to hit the thing 3 times just to type a C. I didn't text then. Now with the smartphone, I text a hell of a lot more than I did. But I hated texting on a little flip phone.
When I had my first little flip phone back in the day, dude. That's once I got used to it. Like I could text real fast. I'm like, dude, why am I calling anybody? I'll just text you. It's so much easier. Okay. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just text me. It's like the easiest way to be antisocial.
Yeah, but you don't get that privilege with me because I'm driving a semi most of the time when I can't text.
Yeah, I know.
So I get voice call privileges.
Well, everybody calls me now, so if I just answer the phone. I still prefer text messages, but that's just me.
Right. Yeah, but I can't exactly.
Yeah, I know. You're driving.
Yeah,
you're driving. I understand.
I get bored. I get bored sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just want to talk to somebody, so I call my buddy.
Yeah. Most of the time, right after I've fallen asleep. At least this past week, anyway, when I've been sick, it's like. Dude,
I've only called you twice. There was that one time, and then today when I was when I was like seeing if you were going to be able to do the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Since that first time that I called you when you told me that you had COVID, today was the first time I talked to you since then.
Yeah, that's true.
So see, I'm respectful.
I appreciate it. I wish other people were. That's why I turned my phone on. I mean, I didn't turn it off, but I put it on silence. Like, dude, I'm going to put my phone on silence so I can get some fucking sleep.
But I put my phone on silent every night when I go to bed.
I'm like, dude, I just
and even the vibration will wake me up, so I take it off the vibration as well. So.
Yeah, I put it on silent. I mean, I let it vibrate, but that's just so like if I am awake and I can hear it, I'll go, oh, okay, let me check it.
Oh, my phone the vibration will wake me up.
Oh, it won't, not me. But the goddamn ringing does.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Hashtag, but I digress.
Yep.
So, she reconnected with her friend, and she was asking for advice on how to talk to boys. And the friend suggested dating sites. So she did, and she began talking to suitors. And then she connected with 22-year-old Nicholas Godejohn.
All right.
Godejohn. This is the second weird-ass last name that we've had in this. I keep going back to the frickin' Ashley episode. it always comes up. That's how relevant. That's how good that episode was. It's like, because there's a character in that story named Laura Up the Grove was her last name. Up the Grove.
Up the Grove. Okay.
Up the Grove. That was the last name. And then now here we have Nicholas Godejohn.
Up the Grove. That sounds like,
Godejohn.
Hey man, where you headed to? I'm going up the Grove.
Up the Grove. and my demented mind came up with a different meaning for Up the Grove.
I'm sure you did.
There
you go.
So
going up the Grove to see Mom and them.
No, Laura's Up the Grove.
I know.
Yeah. So, but John or Nicholas Godejohn. It could be saying go to the bathroom.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking when you first said it.
I bet the origin of that last name was when they would your last name was whatever you did. Could have been like a plumber.
Yeah, possible.
But he lived about 8 hours away in Wisconsin.
Oh.
So they started getting close, and she actually told him what she had been going through. Just started telling the story, like little by little and all that stuff. And they became, like online boyfriend and girlfriend. So, but there were warning flags about old Nick Godejohn. Nick Godejohn!
Right.
But, he liked BDSM, and that spooked her out, because, the bondage and everything. I mean, she had been, like, tied to the bed by her mom while her mom was beating the shit out of her. So, obviously, that was spooked her. But she doesn't know any better. Yeah. He had been charged with with sex crime. I mean, he had exposed himself. I think it was in like a McDonald's parking lot. He got caught jerking off or something.
Uh-oh.
And that was on his record.
Yeah, I would hope so.
He said that he had multiple personalities, but he didn't. And it was just an act.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, it's like when, basically when I knew this girl, and she was telling me about how this guy that she had hooked up with, he was just saying, you got to understand, I got walls.
Okay.
And I'm like, run.
Right.
Like, why? Because when a guy says, I've got walls, that just basically means I'm going to treat you like fucking garbage, and you're going to accept it because I have walls.
Yeah.
That's just basically and that's what this multiple personality thing was too. He didn't have multiple personalities, but he was autistic, and he lived with his parents, and he couldn't keep a job and everything, and he acted like he had multiple personalities. And it would be like, he would have her like, okay, is this your mean personality? Is this your good personality? And he'd be like, yeah. It's just he's a tool, basically.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he was mentally ill, he was autistic and everything, but he didn't have multiple personalities. So, Gypsy would play along, with it and everything. But like I said, she doesn't know any better.
Right.
I mean, Nick was manipulating her from the start, and she didn't even realize it. And how could she realize it? Yeah, because she was basically being kept a prisoner in her own fucking home by her own quote unquote mother. So over the next couple of years, Gypsy Rose, played, sick for Dee Dee, and she managed to keep her relationship with Nick a secret. So
that couldn't have been easy.
I'm sorry. Oh, I know, but like I said, she got sneaky. She got smart.
Mm-hmm.
But she's 21 now, and she still hasn't met Nick, Go to John, in person.
Uh-huh.
So so they come up with this plan. They're really hoping that Dee Dee would approve of it. And I don't know why she thought that, but right. Whatever. So the plan was Dee Dee, because she loved Disney movies, so the live action Cinderella movie, and should take her to see that, and then Nick would come down and go to the same movie, and they would just randomly meet.
Sneaky.
Trick, yeah. I gotta kind of give credit where credit's due as far as Dee Dee is concerned, and we'll get there in just a minute. But so they, why this didn't work? I mean, it's just like, okay, this might have been the only decent thing as a parent that she did,
right?
But so she decided that she was going to cosplay and go to and go to the thing dressed as Cinderella. And there's a picture. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, she's got this huge dress on. Like big white fluffily.
Fluffily. There you go again, making up words.
Fluffy dress and everything, and she's got a red wig on. And I mean, and he was gonna like walk up to her and was like, "Oh, I love your outfit. I love Cinderella." Blah 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 blah. So now I've got multiple sources and everything. Like some sources say that he was also cosplaying as Prince Charming.
Uh-huh.
And then I've got others. Then like the Ranker doesn't say anything about that. That Snapped episode didn't really say anything like that.
Yeah.
But I have seen things where he was cosplaying too. I'm leaning towards he wasn't, because that would just be a little too convenient.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
that would definitely be a giveaway.
Right. So now just her doing it, it's like, okay, that makes a hell of a lot more sense than just like two people destined, two cosplayers show up at the same movie at the same time.
Yeah.
So, so they were okay. So they meet each other, and it did work initially. Like Dee Dee didn't Dee Dee didn't pick up on the fact that this was planned and everything, and they sat close to each other. So they decide that they're gonna. They sit close to each other, and then Gypsy's just like, I got to go to the bathroom. So she wheels herself up to the up the ramp and everything, and he slides out behind her and everything, and they go into the bathroom, and he slides into her. She lost her virginity in the bathroom of a movie theater.
Wow.
But I mean, you know what? I mean, I'm not judging her at all, because she just wanted a normal freaking life.
No judgment.
No, none whatsoever. I mean, I feel horrible for this girl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just like So then they took the, they exchanged contact information and everything, but of course Dee Dee didn't like him. And you know why she didn't like him?
No.
Just take a guess. Remember what I said a minute ago about, the only good parenting choice that she made.
I don't know. I'm at a loss.
All right.
But did she find out that they were banging in the bathroom?
No. She just thought that it was creepy that a grown man would be at a frickin', Disney movie by himself.
Oh. Yeah.
She's got a point.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that now. Yeah, definitely. That is a little bit creepy. Definitely.
Yeah, so like I said, she, that's probably the only good parenting decision that she made in her entire freaking pathetic life.
Yeah.
But it's not her. Keep in mind, Gypsy's 21 fucking years old at this point.
This is true. She's not a child.
Right, so she can do whatever the fuck she wants. I mean, she can legally go out and just go to a hotel room, post something on Craigslist and saying, "Okay, run a train on me," and there wouldn't be anything that that Dee Dee could have done about it. So Gypsy Rose at this point doubled down. She started communicating with Nick right in front of Dee Dee, and she was sick of it. She was done. And Dee Dee flipped. I can't read what I had written, but I know where it's going. So just Dee Dee eventually hit her breaking point, and she flipped out. She stormed into the computer room again, she's throwing things at Gypsy. Gypsy didn't care. Yeah, Dee Dee beat her, tied her to the bed, and then dumped sedatives down her throat. And she's in a catatonic state at this point. It's just the way Dee Dee wanted her.
Yeah,
that's what Dee Dee wanted. That's how she wanted. It's just like, oh, my little girl. Freaking reminds me of fucking Misery. The Stephen King novel. I mean, not to that extreme. Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
It's every bit that extreme. It's every bit that fucking extreme.
Yes, it is.
I mean, she's not breaking her legs with a sledgehammer, but she is making her have unnecessary. If anything, you know what? Dee Dee's worse than what was that character's name in Misery?
I don't remember.
It don't matter. Everybody. Kathy Bates' character. Yeah. I've seen the movie and I've read the book. The book is worse than the movie, as far as the depravity is concerned. Oh, yeah. But Dee Dee is worse than that character. She really is, because this went on for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So, maybe Stephen King should write a really fucked up book, like a really fucked up creative license story about this case.
Yeah, right.
I love Stephen King's. I've read probably about 3/4 of his books, and I've seen every movie that has been made. Granted, most of the movies suck, but there are some good ones.
Oh yeah, and there are some not so good ones.
The Tommyknockers.
See, the Tommyknockers would have been good if they'd maybe waited a little bit to make it to where.
Not the Tommyknockers. The Tommyknockers was out there. It wasn't that good, but that's not the one I was thinking of. What the hell is the name of The Langoliers.
The Langoliers. Yeah, that's another one that they should have waited. You know what I mean? That's the one I was thinking of too. Actually, they should have waited.
That should have been a theatrical.
Yeah, they should have waited.
That should have been a theatrical release.
Yeah, not a TV miniseries.
Right, because it's just like all of a sudden a bunch of Pac-Mans with teeth come and start devouring everything. It's just like they should have put, they need to make that as a theatrical release now.
Right.
Then it would be good.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they tried to do some of these things ahead of the technology that was available at the time. Just wasn't cutting it. And they did it for, and they made it for TV. So I mean, dude, it was like just
right. Well, the TV adaptation of The Stand was actually pretty good. I mean, it had an element of corny because it was a made for TV miniseries. Yeah. But it was good.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
But it's still relevant too. But then that one that the one that they came out with recently, that was really good. I mean, that was excellent.
Oh yeah.
But they put a lot of money into that one.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. You have to throw you have to put money into it if you want to get a good story. I mean, it doesn't matter, how good how good the actor is, how good this is, how good that is. If you got a shitty script or you have shitty effects, because that's all you could afford to do, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it at this time.
The TV it was just like The Stand. It was decent.
Yeah.
But it was still made for TV.
Plus it had Tim
now,
Curry.
That movie that they
Oh,
well, not The Stand. It.
Yeah. It. That Tim Curry was it.
Oh, yeah. All right, brain fart. But I mean, it's just like even though they got money on it, it's just like sell. God, that movie. The book was great until the very end of it. Then the end. The very end of it made you wish that you hadn't even read the book.
Anyway.
And the movie adaptation was even worse. The Dark Tower movie that they made, God, that thing, just kill it with fire.
I haven't really been watching any of that shit. I think I watched, what is it? What was the one that they just came out with Idris Elba?
Yeah, that was the Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower, okay.
Yeah, and it sucked. I mean, it was god awful.
I don't know. I didn't read any of the books, so I don't know. I mean, I thought it was entertaining, at least. But yeah, I watched it once, so I won't. That was enough.
Well, allegedly, there's supposed to be doing that entire book series as like they did with Game of Thrones, like a multi-season thing with throwing a lot of money at it. They do that. That's what they need to do with the Dark Tower. It's just, I mean, I haven't read the entire Dark Tower series. I've read probably like 5 of the books. I think there's like 8 books.
Yeah.
But I've read like 5 of them. But it's just I saw that movie in the theater, Dark Tower, and I was just like, this sucks.
Anyway.
And the movie adaptation of Gerald's Game was pretty good too.
Was it?
Creepy as fuck, but it was still pretty good.
Anyway,
they did a good hashtag. But I really digress.
Yeah, we kind of went. We took a big tangent there. Back to the story.
It's kind of relevant.
Kind of.
Stephen King could write a version of this. Whatever. Yeah. So she's like blitzed out of her mind with all these drugs and everything, and she's all groggy and everything, and after Dee Dee went to sleep, she dragged herself out of bed. She got free of being tied up and everything, and she went to go talk to Nick. And she tells Nick that she couldn't live that way anymore. And Nick said that he would do like anything that he could do to help her. And he said he'll just come get her, and then they could just disappear. And Gypsy Rose said, it's like, okay, well, no, because she'll just track me down. She's tracked me down before. Dee Dee needs to die.
Uh-oh.
She wanted Nick to kill Dee Dee, and Nick agreed. So Nick said that his evil personality would do the dirty work.
Of course.
And I'll just have old Jake do it.
Right.
Maybe Nazi Joe. No, Nazi Joe's not making an appearance in this episode. Yeah. Back off, Nazi Joe. Get out of my studio.
Yeah, right. I mean, nobody wants to talk to you.
Bang.
Fuck off.
So, June 9th of 2015, Dee Dee took Gypsy Rose to the doctor, and the plan was Gypsy Rose would text Nick when it was time. So Nick was waiting at a hotel there in Springfield. So later on, she sent Nick a text saying that Dee Dee was asleep. So he showed up, and Gypsy let him in, and she handed him a knife and showed Nick where Dee Dee's room was.
Uh-huh.
He entered the bedroom, and Gypsy Rose hid in the bathroom. Where the fuck was I? Okay, the bathroom. Dee Dee woke up, because Nick was clumsy, and she started screaming. She started screaming at him, asking him who the hell he was, and he said, and I imagine he said it like in frickin' Rambo. I'm your worst nightmare. But he did say that.
No.
Yeah, but I can just imagine, I'm your worst nightmare. Actually, it wasn't I'm your worst nightmare. It was just I'm your nightmare.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, but still.
I'm your nightmare. Yo, Adrian! So he pounced on her, and he stabbed her 17 times.
Oh, my.
And ding dong, the bitch is dead, the bitch is dead, the bitch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked bitch is dead.
Yeah.
So Nick came out of Dee Dee's bedroom, and they go into, Gypsy comes out of the bathroom. They go into Gypsy's bedroom, and they had sex.
Of course. As one does after
so,
you just killed your mother.
Right. But Gypsy Rose said that she asked him to stop, but he didn't, and he actually kind of roughed her up.
Oh.
So, like I said, this guy's, well, I mean, he's a predator. Yeah, it's like he knew that he was dealing with somebody that didn't have all their faculties together and everything. So, and he took advantage, kind of like freaking Luca Magnotta with that with that girl that he took advantage of early in the game.
Yeah.
It's like this poor girl's like surrounded by nothing but Luca Magnotta. They cleaned up, and Gypsy took money, because Dee Dee had a bunch of cash on hand, and they went to Nick's hotel room, and Gypsy, because she starts getting consumed with guilt and regret and remorse and all that stuff, but she was also happy. So she's like, she's like on a merry-go-round. Yeah, not a merry-go-round. She's like she's just going like back and forth and everything. She's on an emotional roller coaster, basically. she didn't want to take the chance of being caught on the road, with the knife and the money. She had about a little over $4,000, but so they mailed the knife and the $4,000 to Nick's parents' house in Wisconsin.
No.
And that's where they were going, to Wisconsin. To Nick's mommy and daddy's house.
Uh-huh.
So Nick's parents picked them up from the bus station, and they had grand plans and everything. It's just like they're going to rent their own apartment, and Nick was going to get a job.
Oh boy,
hasn't been able to keep one so far.
It's different this time, though.
Yeah, it's always different.
Always.
I got a plan. So, Gypsy's medicines started wearing off. Because they didn't take the medicines with her, with them when they left. So they started, and you know what? She's perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and she's actually feeling good for the first time in her life, and she's really starting to... I mean, she knew that her mother had, lied about her age and all that stuff and was keeping her locked up and everything, but she's begins realizing the truth of what was really going on, about how her mom was just keeping her drugged up and everything just because she had a serious mommy complex, you know? So she starts realizing the truth, and she's pissed. When reality slaps you in the face, sometimes you get fucking pissed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially if you've been naive and oblivious the whole time to what was really going on. But it's just I can only imagine the it's just like it's all out in the open now. She knows everything. And this is the aftermath of this is heartbreaking. So no news came out about Dee Dee. Her body hadn't been found. So but and the reason being is because she had isolated herself from everyone unless she wanted another public appearance. It's just like unless she was making a public appearance and parading Gypsy around and everything, they just stayed in that damn house.
Right. So
she felt bad about the fact that her mom hadn't been discovered. So she comes up with a plan. Not a good one. But she logs on to the Facebook account, the one that they shared, and she posted a suggestion that Dee Dee had been murdered, and she was posting it as if the murderer had actually hacked into their logged onto their site. It's just like, I killed the bitch, and I raped her. I raped her innocent young daughter too.
Oh boy.
And that. A neighbor saw that. Because she was Facebook friends with the dual account and everything, and tried to check in on Dee Dee. She called the police to do. The neighbor called the police to do a wellness check on it. And the door was locked and everything. But and looking in, they saw Gypsy Rose's wheelchair. And she actually had 3 of them, and they were all there in the living room that you could see by looking through the window. So police get a warrant, and they found the body, and they also found just the entire house was just full of thousands of pill bottles and everything. Yeah, she could have opened up her own fucking pharmacy with all the crap that was there.
Yeah. No doubt.
So, the Gypsy's plan, however, backfired. Because now everybody thinks that Gypsy had been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean she was a known commodity at that point. So it's just like, okay, somebody comes in, kills the mother, and then takes her.
Yeah. Because she's got all these problems and she has the mental capacity of a 7-year-old, she had to have been kidnapped.
Right. But I mean, it makes sense. She's not there. Her wheelchairs are there. Nobody knows that she can actually walk. Yeah. You know.
Or that doesn't need all those meds.
Right. Nobody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
So they think that this poor girl who can't walk is being kept somewhere. You know, the supposed perpetrator is already like admitted to, you know, like raping her. So she's been raped. As far as they know, she's been raped. She's been kidnapped and all that stuff. And she doesn't have her wheelchairs and she doesn't have any of the medication that she so desperately needs. That's what everybody's thinking. Gypsy's, you know, the neighborhood friend that she had suggested that Nick may have done it. Because Gypsy had told her that Nick had a rap sheet. So, I mean, she inadvertently, yeah, she didn't do it on purpose, but she inadvertently ratted Gypsy out.
Yeah. Oops.
Police, they start investigating him. They start doing their research on him. They're like, okay, well, let's see what's up with this. So they trace the IP from where the Facebook message had come from. And it obviously came from Nick's house, you know, Nick's parents' house in Wisconsin.
Oh, well, yeah, you know. Should have used the VPN.
DuckDuckGo.
Surfshark.
I don't think those existed then.
Yeah, what year is it?
We're in like 2016.
Yeah, probably not. They probably weren't, or not big like they are now. Anyway.
Yeah, they're fairly new. But so Wisconsin police, they raided the house and they arrested Nick. And they're still thinking that Gypsy had been kidnapped. But when she walked out of the back of the house, just walking just fine and everything perfectly healthy, and you know, they're like dumbfounded and everything, and she actually tells the cops about her illness, yeah, and all that stuff. It was all fake. She tells the cops everything.
Wow.
You know, about what her mom had been doing to her and all that stuff. She's extradited back to Springfield, and Gypsy, she pretends not to know about her mother or about the murder of her mother. Right. She then confessed that she thought that killing her mom was the only way out of it. You know, out of the situation and all that stuff. So she, yeah, and it's I mean, the fact. I mean, if Nick had half a brain, he would have been like, "Look, you're 21 years old. All I have to do is come get you, and you show we go straight to the police. You show them the Medicaid card with your real birth date on it, and guess what? You know, Dee Dee goes to jail." But you know, I mean, she's been imprisoned basically for 21 years.
Yeah.
She's not thinking straight, and Nick is a freaking idiot.
Right.
So Nick confessed, and he said that he only did it because of Gypsy Rose. He was like in love with her and everything, but they had all of the emails and texts and all that stuff and everything as evidence. Yeah, it's just like that. I mean, it's one of the easiest like slam dunk cases that's ever been. You know, it's like, you know, since the computer age started, well, the social media age started anyway.
Right.
So then, you know, the truth about Dee Dee came out, and everybody who had been duped by her was obviously angry. They're hurt. Yeah, and some, you know, like family and doctors and everything like that were, you know, that friends and everything they were like feeling guilty for not picking up the warning signs. Yeah, and there was only one doctor that mentioned Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy, but nothing, you know, and this was like early on too, but nothing came of it. He just noted it in the file and everything, and nothing came of it. Every other doctor, just like, you know, every other. So there's only been 2 people that said anything. And that the anonymous tip that came, you know, like earlier, that we talked about earlier in the episode. There was that, and then there was that one doctor that said something about, you know, the possibility of Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy, and that was, you know, that, but he didn't follow up on it. He didn't do anything about it. So her father, Rod, took it like really hard. You know, Gypsy Rose was mad at Rod because Dee Dee had told her all through his life that Rod was worthless and never wanted, you know, he never wanted a sick child, and that's why he abandoned them. But she never even told Rod about the child support that he was paying, $1,200 a month.
Damn.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, he continued to pay that even after she had turned 18. You know, like I said, because she thought that she couldn't take care of herself, and that, you know, and that Dee Dee needed all the help that she could get. This guy is like freaking, you know, father of the year.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, this guy. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, you've got all these charity organizations and everything giving Dee Dee freaking awards and everything. Give this dude an award.
Oh yeah, guy's a stand-up fucking dad.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I
mean, I guess he wasn't kind of allowed to be a dad more other than just paying child support, but he did it anyway. You know?
Yeah, because even though, but he, like everybody else, bought into all the bullshit that Dee Dee was spewing. You know, and it just blows my freaking mind. Yeah. All right, we're getting close to the end. It's a long ass episode.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But, so Gypsy decided to reach out to Rod. You know, he was a loving father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he always had been. She just never knew that. Yeah, it's just like, you know, the victim in all of this obviously is Gypsy. The victim is not fucking Dee Dee, who's fucking dead. You know, the victim here is Gypsy.
Yes, absolutely.
And also you could say that the victim here is Rod too. You know? Yeah, Rod Blanchard. I mean, you got to feel for this guy. I mean, this guy, he loved his daughter, even though he hardly ever saw her. Yeah, but she explained to, it's like when they talked and everything, he explained that, like, no, I didn't abandon you. This is what I was told. And then he explained everything to her. He said he hadn't abandoned her and he never would. So, Gypsy Rose is charged with second-degree murder. 10 years in prison. In 2016, she was sentenced to 10 years in prison. And so that means she'll be out in a couple years. Yeah. And, she shouldn't have gone to prison. But, Nick, he's charged with first-degree murder. And he tried to plead mentally incompetent. And the prosecutors, they had the text saying, how all of this was planned and everything, and how he was saying that he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it for her after he had decided to. He didn't want to at first, but he did it for her. He did love her. He did love her, and in that Oxygen, Snapped episode. I mean, he kept, they interviewed him, and he kept saying it's just like how much he loved her and all that stuff. But he was sentenced to, he was found guilty and sentenced to life without parole. And you know what? I mean, he does deserve a more harsh sentence and everything, but I don't think it should have been life without parole.
Nah.
Maybe 20 years, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, he did stab her 17 times.
That's true. That is true.
No matter what that bitch did, that's fucking hardcore right there, dude. I don't. I mean, dude, 17 times. That's just straight up rage. That's not heat of the moment or anything like that. That's straight rage.
Yeah, well, maybe like 20 years with like at a psychiatric.
Yeah, that or just give him life
facility.
And then give him a chance to get paroled if he shapes up,
Right.
But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, Gypsy. Yeah, he's still in love with her and everything, but she doesn't want anything to do with him. She like kind of moved on. And I'm looking at I've kind of been scrolling down the Ranker page in case I needed to look at it and everything. Right. Yeah, it's like keeping up with myself and everything. And there's a picture. There's a picture of her. Her hair's all grown out and everything. She's a pretty girl.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and looks perfectly normal. I mean, her skin is like tanned. I mean, and everything. She's not, like the pictures of her as a kid. She's like ghost white because she's been kept in the fucking house the entire time. So, but yeah, I mean, she's a good looking girl. But he said in the interview or the interviews on that Snapped episode that the 5 days that he was actually with her were the best days of his life. And he's been learning in prison and everything. He's trying to be a good inmate and everything. He's and at the time that that episode of Snapped was released, he was studying for a GED.
Well, that's good. At least he's doing something.
Yeah. But now Gypsy at the end of like interviews that she's done while in prison, she's like, I'm good with it. She's like, I'm more free in prison than I was at home.
Yeah.
And
that's messed up.
That's probably the most heartbreaking. Yeah. Yeah, it just goes to say what, just like how fucked up that cunt, was to her and everything. I still don't think she should have gotten. I don't think she should have gone to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, probation, maybe like, a mental hospital or whatever. Yeah, I don't think she should have gotten 10 years in prison.
Yeah,
Call that a hot take. Call that what you want. I'll stand by that. I don't think that. I don't think she should have gone to prison. But she started getting pen pals and stuff like that, like everybody does. I mean, this isn't like those crazy bitches that were like writing Richard Ramirez. It's people like like if I was the type that would just like start writing letters to somebody in prison or whatever, because I believed in the case genuinely, not because of some sick obsession like the bitches that were like writing Charles Manson and Richard Ramirez and BTK and all those it's just, well, one of the pen pals that she had, she got engaged to.
Oh
yeah. And in 2008, she's eligible for parole.
Mm-hmm.
She's eligible for parole in 2024.
Yeah, that's soon.
Now, are you ready for the payoff? Are you ready for the satisfying part?
Yes, please. Let's let her rip, Tater Chip.
I love this. Dee Dee was cremated.
Uh-huh.
And her ashes were given to her sister.
Okay.
You know what the sister did with the ashes?
Flushed them down the toilet.
Ding, 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 ding. Did you read that or did you guess?
No, that was just a guess.
Because that's what you would want to see happen to her.
Yes,
right?
exactly. That's awesome.
And that's exactly what fucking happened.
Oh, that's so cool.
that fucking bitch, got her ashes like flushed down the damn toilet.
Right on. Couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
So, nope. And that's it. That's the story. We're done.
Damn, that was a long one.
But yeah, it was. But it's a good story, though. I mean,
yeah.
It's just like I wanted to tell it and everything, and it's just I don't know. I just feel so bad for this girl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I mean, she didn't actually. I mean, she orchestrated the killing of her mother, but it's just like her mother just was a worthless piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like she was done to it. It's like in Florida we have the stand your ground law.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could make the argument that she was standing her ground.
You could say that.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't apply in court in this situation, even in Florida. But still, I mean, it's just like she, her whole fucking world was like ripped away from her.
Yeah.
So she definitely, she didn't deserve all of that. And it's just like you can only, and she doesn't know the process of how to do anything. It's like, okay, she figured everything out, but she doesn't know what the fuck to do with it because she's only basically got a second grade education.
Yeah.
And she's trying to piece together the rest of it, and she should not have gone. She should not have served. Yeah, they should have just been like, okay, time served.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, and set her up with counseling or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we're done with that one. That was a long one.
Yeah.
And you with COVID, man, you
I know.
I had to freaking sit there. I had to carry this episode on my shoulders like the entire. I mean, you like interjected a little bit, but not much.
I know. Sorry, I tried, dude.
No, it's all right. Shit, I've had COVID twice.
I tried.
So.
I tried to like kind of chip in and say things when I could think of it, but dude, I don't know. My mind is just dumb.
Oh yeah. So, all right, let's wrap this up. Tell them about your band.
Yep, I play in a 80s retro kind of pop band, I guess you could say, called Retroactive Days. You can find us on Facebook. If you ever happen to be in the Brevard County area, Florida, and you look us up and see us playing, come on out and say hi. Tell me you listen to Crimes, Killers, Cults, and Beer, and I'll buy you a drink, and we'll just hang out.
And if you say that Gypsy Rose Blanchard shouldn't have gone to prison, then he'll buy you 2 beers.
Yes. You can't make me agree to things like that when I have COVID, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kidding. It's all good.
You can find my original music on like all platforms: Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Amazon, iHeart, and everything. And we're going to link all of that on our website, and we're going to put that in the notes and everything. And then all that information is going to be on the About page. And so, all right. Hopefully, by the time you hear this episode, you'll have heard Joseph Paul Franklin prior to it.
Yes.
So, anyway, we're going to wrap it up, and until next time, later.
Cheers, everybody.